Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're out at Disney's Animal Kingdom. It's the next park, like I was telling you guys. I'm on. It's early, I'm tired, same as usual. Let's get into the park, let's find something to eat, I think. And I'm thinking we're probably gonna head into the Avatar land, because I love like the restaurant there, the good service there. So I think it's worth checking out. But cue the Edge's music. Just make our way up. There's like one of the side paths and got it. The amount of people that are like borderline running, especially with strollers. But hey, credit to them. Gotta love a workout in the morning. Here we go, guys. That little like macaw show bit that I showed you guys there, it was kind of cool. It's always fun to see those birds like borderline in the wild, like natural behavior, you know what I'm saying? I don't even know what I'm saying sometimes. We're still heading towards Pandora, the world of Avatar, to try and grab some breakfast. So yep, nothing else there has changed. I'll chat to you guys in a sec. We're actually getting there, start showing you around the land a bit more. Here's some of these waterways. Beautiful. This whole park is honestly very beautiful, especially this whole world of Pandora, Avatar, whatever you want to call it. So well designed. I'm always surprised whenever we come in here, like how beautiful this place is, really. It's very loud, but I'm not sure that's coming across for you guys. Okay, let's get around the corner, we start seeing the trees and everything else. Okay, there you are, guys. Flow Mountains. I know that's what you came here for. Beautiful, isn't it? Let's keep moving around because I'm pretty sure, like, I just keep following this path around. I'll come into the food place that I'm wanting to head towards, but this whole land is just so beautiful, isn't it? From the tiny little touches of the lamps. We've got some plants right in there. You really could spend so long just exploring this place. Saying that, it's also extraordinarily hot and humid today. And I heard on the radio on the way in, apparently it's going to be one of the hottest days for like X amount of time. You know they always give like a weird 100 years, 50 years, something like that. It's going to be a hot day, that's what I'm saying. Let's go grab some food then. Come a bit further, I found the mech suit. And if I'm not mistaken, it was off to, no, that's Flight Passage. Here, that's what I'm looking for. Let's head in, see what the queue's like at least. Like even here is really cool. Like, it just seems very like tent, put up, native. What do you want to call it? Okay, the doors aren't opening, so I'm guessing this place hasn't opened yet for food. So, honestly, let's just keep heading around, we'll go into Africa and we'll come back and get food here later on. I'm just on like this little boardwalk shortcut thing they've added from Pandora through to I think it's Africa. And like, I really do love it. It's like a very chilled walk along the water. It's, at least at the moment, not overly busy. But so well done. Okay. I'm not sure what else to show you guys, but we're going to keep moving forward, try to find something to look at or eat or something like that. We're just going past the Festival of the Lion King at the moment, and I definitely want to check it out because it's a changed show. But I think let's keep moving first, and we'll come back a little bit later in the day when we're a little bit hotter and just want to be able to sit down for a little bit longer. Makes sense. So it looks like the Lion King shows are every hour with a gap at 1 o'clock. So we'll just have to keep an eye on that and try to figure out a time that works when we're back around this area to go see the show. But for the moment, where am I heading off to? I think, no stroller parking. Oh, okay, I haven't actually gotten out of, I thought I was further up here, but I'm not. So let's get up there and then we'll kind of turn in and start looking at Africa. I ducked into like this little gift shop because one, I want AC, and two, I thought they had like a little bakery at the back, and they do, but check out the homeware, just give me a quick little circle of the store. Coffees, teas, mugs there, but yes, they have a cafe, but all it looks like they have is very sweet things. I'm just not feeling that much sugar right this second. But we'll come back, look for a treat later on. Wow. The safari's sitting at a 60-minute wait too. Honestly, I think we're just going to have to pick something and go for it, because everything seems like it's had a bit of a longer wait and no food place I can see are open yet. So I think let's do this, and then we may go back into Avatar and then look if their place is open. If it's not, we can do the like river boat in there and then check again. Because I really kind of just want to get something to eat. I think it's just going to help me find a groove better. At the moment I'm just a little tired and like irritated with the heat, which is not good. So it's well hidden, but there's a massive line right around us, guys. Yep, I'm already regretting jumping in this, but who cares now? So we're almost in our trucks, just waiting. We're inside now with fans and stuff, so it's going okay. It's just been a very long, hot wait. Keeping the trend, this is the Safari's merge point. Lightning lane, standby, where they blend. And saying that, I'm not sure if you guys can see through the trees, we've still got a hell of a long line even after we do get merged. So that's fun. That was sarcasm. I'm not sure they came across right, but it was meant to be. Cool. So we've covered that part. Sweet. So in zone 2, which is the loading area, but not the immediate loading area, which is zone 1. We learned this. So better hop on, guys. So hold on. It's been bumpy, but we're gonna go do a safari. Wow, that was harder to get out than it should have been.
So we're gonna kick off our adventure here in the Little Aturi Forest. It's a great place for animals to hide. They use a natural camouflage to blend into their surroundings. Our friend to the right over there, the okapi. So you can see those stripes on their hind quarters. It kind of helps them blend into the brush. And over here to the left, a couple more animals blending in are the bongo antelopes with the stripes over there. They're known as the ghost of the Little Aturi Forest because they travel pretty discreetly and pretty quietly. And that okapi over there kind of looks like a relative of the zebra, but it's actually first cousins to the giraffe. They share a couple of different things in common. It's going to be their tongue. It's very long. It's about 18 inches long and can reach all the way up to their ears and eyeballs. And they have the same shaped skull. In fact, if you put an okapi and a giraffe right next to each other, they would look very, very similar. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled for anybody who might be blending into their surroundings, like our friend the rhino over here to the left. There are 2 black rhinos. There are only about 5,000 black rhinos left in the world. They're pretty endangered. They're the smallest in the rhino species. They're also the darkest in color. And they actually have the same stuff in their fingernails and in their horns as we do with our fingernails. That's called keratin, and it can be filed just like our nails. To our right is a greater kudu blending in to the brush over there, using that natural camouflage very, very well. That's a female greater kudu, and I can tell because she doesn't have any horns on top of her head. In contrast, the males have twisty horns on top of their head. In fact, you can see them on the animal spotting guide right above your heads, to the far left, I believe. A couple of other friends over here to the left. Those are the saddle-billed storks. They've got a wingspan of 9 feet wide, wider than the average adult male is tall. You can see that one looks a little bit short over there. They usually stand up to 5 feet tall, but that one is kneeling down. They're pretty interesting knees. Their knees are inverted. Means they bend the opposite way that ours do. They don't have any vocal cords, but they can rattle their beaks. That makes a tick-tock noise. It lets other animals know that there might be danger afoot. We are entering into the Safi River now, so keep your eyes on the water, because sometimes hippos like to hang out in this far right corner over here. Yep, I think I see a couple over there right now. I see another one right a little bit further down. A little bit further down. So you can see that hippo is sticking their eyes, ears, and noses out of the water. They do this as a way to cool off. They have pretty sensitive skin, very susceptible to sunburn. That's one of the reasons why they're in the water so much. A few more hippos over here to the left. Now they can float and they can swim, but that does exert a lot of energy, so they prefer to sink down to the bottom of the bank and walk or run instead. This way they can stay nice and cool, conserve that energy as well. Those are herbivores, that means they only eat plants. They have to eat a lot of plants to stay nice and full. They have to eat around 80 pounds of plants per day. Despite their very large size, they don't need all that much food to stay satiated. Now, we did see those beautiful hippos back there, the herbivores, but if we take a look over here to our left before we cross the bridge, we might see a couple of carnivores. Oh, yeah, I think I see a couple over there. Those are the Nile crocodiles. So I think I see a couple animals over here to the right. Yep. Familiar face over here. That's the Hartman's Mountain zebra looking right at us. As well as some wildebeests. I'd say there's a little bit more than some. There's a whole confusion of wildebeests over there. That's what you call a herd of them. Now, we'll probably see that Hartman's Mountain zebra graze in just a moment. They graze or eat grass for about 60% of the day. And because of this, their teeth never stop growing. They just grow and grow and grow at a very slow rate for all of their lives. And those wildebeests are also known as the New. It's kind of like how a cow says moo moo. The wildebeest over there says New. It's pretty fun to do. Go ahead, try. New. You can try when you get home. And over here to the left are a couple of African wild dogs. They're in front of their den over there. They're also known as painted dogs. And they are some of the most territorial animals here on the reserve. They differ in a couple of different ways from the four-legged friends you might have at home. They have 4 toes instead of 5. They have radar ears, so they can move their ears in all different directions to hear all the sounds around them, keep them nice and aware. And they don't bark like an average dog. They make more of a high-pitched chirping noise. To the left are a couple more antelopes. Those are the sable antelopes over there to the left. They're the symbol of the Harambe Reserve. For a couple of different reasons. They're very, very confrontational. They're not afraid to back down from a challenge. In fact, they've even been known to challenge lions. And they're also a great symbol of tenacity and strength as well. To the left over here, these pointy structures are called termite mounds. I'm sure you've seen termite mounds where you're from. These are much larger because the termites in Africa are much larger. They almost like to use those as scratching posts. They're made of dung and mud and rocks. They get to be as hard as concrete. Now we can see a little bit better view of those wildebeest over here to the right. The word wildebeest is Afrikaans for wild beast. And that certainly makes sense. They're very wild looking. But they are not beasts. They are certainly sweethearts. A couple more over there to the right. Just past that large termite mound over there. Wildebeest actually sleep in a really interesting way. They sleep in rows kind of facing all different directions. This way, if the animal tries to attack them or harm them while they're resting or sleeping, they can get up really fast and scatter in all different directions and not bump into one another. Looks like I see a few animals with some very large horns over here to the right. These animals are known as the Ankole cattle. In some parts of Africa, they're a symbol of wealth, so the more Ankole cattle you have, the wealthier you might appear to others. Those horns on top of their head might look pretty heavy, but they're actually very light. The inside of them kind of looks like honeycomb, and it allows for blood to circulate throughout them. And it even cools them off. You might see a couple with spots. The ones with spots are considered lucky. They're also known as the Watusi cattle. They were originally domesticated by the Watusi tribe. In fact, they're the only domesticated animal that lives here on the reserve. Over here to the left looks like there are a few giraffes. A whole tower of giraffes over here to the left. To the word tower is used to describe a herd of giraffes because, of course, they tower over everybody in the animal kingdom. They have pretty long tongues, as I mentioned before, but they also have prehensile tongues. That means they can use their tongues kind of like a finger to wrap around their leaves, grasp onto their leafy snack from the trees. They give birth standing up. The babies have a pretty long way down before they hit the ground, about 6 feet. I know, it sounds like a pretty rough way to enter the world. But they can handle it. It kickstarts their hearts, actually. The average adult giraffe heart can be up to 25 pounds and 2.5 feet wide. Looks like we're coming up on some rocks and some trees that have been knocked over here. And guess who is strong enough to push that around? Our friendly African elephant over here. You can tell it's an African elephant because their ears are actually in the shape of Africa. Looks like there are a couple of monkeys over here to the left too. Those are mandrill monkeys with the colorful faces. They'll be hiding kind of towards the back of the bush over there to the left. And it's only going to be the males who have the colorful faces. The females don't have any color on their faces at all. But the colors on the males' faces actually get brighter the more excited they get. Let's see if we can meet our friend the elephant over here. Oh, looks like my shortcut's closed. But we might be able to see a little bit better over here. Might just have to scoot up a little bit. Well, it looks like maybe not. See just a little bit better over there, but we can see that trunk reaching all the way up to the sack of hay. They use their trunks in a couple of different ways. They're very, very special. They have more muscles in their trunk than we do in our entire bodies. And they're so articulate that they can grab onto a piece of grass, a single blade of grass. It takes the average elephant about 2 years to learn how to use all of the muscles in their trunks. And one way that they can use their trunks is grabbing some of this red clay over here to our left and right and consuming it. They actually eat this red clay because it's a great source of vitamins and minerals that they might not get from their diet. Looks like a couple more elephants are over here to the left. Now that one elephant we saw back there was an adult male African elephant, and you can tell because he was all by himself. And in contrast, the females are definitely the social butterflies of the herd. In fact, they're so social that elephant herds are run by a matriarchy, or a female-led society. They live with their young for the majority of their lives. They take very good care of their young. The adult females act like bodyguards of the youngest elephant, and they'll form a circle around them whenever they're resting or sleeping to keep them nice and safe. I did mention their ears before. Their ears are very, very special. They're pretty sensitive as well. They can hear the tiniest buzzing of a bee from miles away. They don't really like the sound of bees. Elephants have very sensitive skin as well, and they're afraid of getting stung. They're incredibly smart creatures. They figured out how to make sunscreen for themselves. They use their trunks to grab dirt from the ground and spray that dirt all over their backs, protecting their skin from the sun. A little SPF dirt. To the left over here, you can see another elephant towards the back. There are a few more friends to the left. These are some flamingos. Greater flamingos, to be exact. They're the largest in the species. They're also the lightest in color, lightest in pink. And they get the pink in their feathers from a type of shrimp that makes up most of their diet. That's called brine shrimp. We are entering into big cat territory as well. So keep your eyes peeled as you look over here to the left, because I think I see a cheetah over there. Yep, there is a cheetah right over there, sitting straight up and looking right at us.
Right under the tree.
Cheetahs are very fast creatures. They're sprinters, but they can't sprint for all that long. They're kind of like track runners. They only sprint for short periods of time, but they can get up to 70 miles an hour.
Behind the rocks. straight behind the box.
Now it looks like we might be able to see the rhino a little bit
Straight
better
over.
over here to the right.
Right there.
Right there, underneath the tree.
Oh, I lied. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
underneath the tree.
You'll see
Yeah.
in the
Oh,
middle
I
of
was
the
looking
wonder.
in the tree. Thank you guys.
Cool.
It looks like there are a couple more cheetahs over here to the left in the far corner. The cheetahs don't roar like your average big cat, so they make a couple of different noises. They make a barking noise like a dog. They make a chirping noise, kind of like the African wild dog. But sometimes they will purr. Speaking of purring, over here to the left, of course, it's a lion over here. That's an adult male lion who is on the prowl.
Oh, wow.
We'll stop over here and take a good look at him. Now, friends, it's very rare to see lions awake at this hour because lions sleep anywhere between 16 to 20 hours in a day. They do most of their hunting at night. Their eyesight actually improves up to 6 times in the evening. They're also much larger in size and lighter in color, although neither of them are black or white, they are just different shades of gray. They're also the most endangered in the lion species. To our left over here, we can see a couple more lions as well. These are female lions who just perked their heads up over here to the left. Now it's going to be the females who do about 90% of the hunting in the pride. They team up in pairs of 2 to take down very, very fast creatures. And the males do the other 10% of the hunting. They mostly hang out among Kopi Rock and keep watch over everything. The Kopi Rock was actually inspiration for Pride Rock and the Lion King. And sometimes we see warthogs over here. I really hope we see them because they are my favorite. But they are burrowing creatures, so they might be hanging out in their burrows. They're actually the world's largest burrowing mammal. They are very good at natural camouflage as well. They blend right in with their surroundings. Sometimes you can see their tusks sticking out though. I'm trying to get another look as we turn around a little bit. Be able to see, oh, to the right is a Bontebok antelope. You know, fun fact about the Bontebok, they almost went extinct. There are only about 17 of them left in the world. And one farmer in Africa took them all in and started repopulating them. So now they're not endangered. To the right, there are some ostrich eggs as well. It's a nest of ostrich eggs. And these ostrich eggs are pretty large, about 3 pounds per egg. They're very strong as well. In fact, a full-grown adult male human could stand on the eggs and they won't break. Looks like we're not seeing any warthogs today. But our last stop on our adventure is the warden's post over here. And the warden has a couple of neighbors who like to hang out with him. These are the Nigerian dwarf goats. And they're probably the cutest example of conservation over here on the reserve. A real life example of animals and humans working together to help one another. Live a better, more enriched life. The farmers and the warden provide the goats with housing and shelter and protection from any creature who might try to harm them. They're pretty vulnerable. And the goats, of course, provide the warden with milk. Goat's milk. There's a bunch of different uses for goat's milk. It's very high in protein, can make great cheese, but it's also a wonderful trading resource. So it's a win-win for both parties.
Okay, that was kind of cool, guys, wasn't it? Checking out those animals.